Hello, hello, hello. How are you? This is Craig Beck from StopDrinkingExpert.com, the website where we help people like you to escape the loop of alcohol addiction. And if you're new to the channel, then job number one, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell so YouTube knows that you like this sort of content. And I warn you in advance that today I'm getting on my soapbox. I am shouty McShoutface today because something is winding me up. And I believe it's the big alcohol companies who continue to find new and exciting ways to make fools of us. That's what I want to talk about today. Do you remember a couple of weeks ago, I was in London and I was exposed to this huge array of alcohol-free products. We don't get them here in Cyprus. I mean, we barely got Coca-Cola. That arrived last week. So I was in London and I saw all these alcohol-free champagnes, alcohol-free whiskey, alcohol-free gin. And if you remember, I did a review, a taste test of Tanqueray alcohol-free gin. And I described the process as being kind of unsettling. I drank it and it tasted good, but something was just not sitting right with me. I was kind of confused by the whole process, and I concluded my taste test um, by saying that these drinks are pointless. I'm laughing because I just remembered somebody was trying to troll me on YouTube, and they were saying, "Well, this guy's obviously being paid by the gin companies to do these reviews. Disgusting." Blatantly hadn't watched the video, because what company would pay me to conclude that their product was pointless? Don't you love trolls, the keyboard warriors? Anyway, I came back to Cyprus and I bought another brand of alcohol-free gin with me to try out with my wife and get her opinion. And it was this Gordon's 0% gin. And we finished this bottle in 1 week. I finished this bottle of gin in a week. There's something you didn't think you'd hear on a Stop Drinking channel, isn't it? Now that doesn't mean we were constantly drinking alcohol-free gin and tonic. We got like 6 drinks out of this. And let me explain why. And this is why I believe that big alcohol has just found a new and exciting way to take our money off us and treat us like idiots. You know, if you think about the tobacco companies in the 70s and 80s, they'd been knowingly killing their customers for decades and denying it. They were evil and still are evil, narcissistic, sociopathic companies. Absolutely the nastiest human beings on the planet, if you ask me. Now, recently, they've switched into vaping and heated tobacco products. You'll see these all over the place. Heated tobacco, no smoke. Now, are we to conclude that they finally found their moral compass? That they finally realized, oh, maybe we shouldn't kill millions of people every year? Are we to believe that this is like a pantomime and the bad guys have suddenly overnight turned into good guys? No. Why do the tobacco companies make vaping equipment and heated tobacco? Because it's another way to deliver the drug, nicotine, and take our money. They just want your money. They don't care whether you live or die, just give them all your money because they're evil, right? So if the alcohol companies are no better than the cigarette companies, and they're not, exactly the same profile, they have been knowingly killing their customers for decades and decades and decades and hiding behind this defense of, well, if you drink in moderation, knowing full well that problem drinkers can't drink in moderation. So that's a pointless statement. So they're no better than the tobacco company. They're just as evil. Well, should we take a look at their foray into alcohol-free products as a sign that the alcohol companies have developed a moral compass and now suddenly care about their customers? Should we conclude that the alcohol companies have woken up and gone, you know what, maybe we should stop killing our customers? And that's why they're in this arena? Of course not. They're in this arena because they want our money. But worse than that, now they want even more money than they were taking from us before, because they've spotted a problem with their new products. Their new products are not addictive. And that's a huge problem because we all know that if you have a one gin and tonic, you're probably going to have a second one, then a third, then a fourth. And before you know it, you're a quarter way through the bottle. Isn't that how it goes? So selling gin and spirits to addicts is quite a cash cow because you know they're not in control of the amount they consume. The evil clown is. But this stuff is not addictive. So that's a problem, isn't it? Think about it. How long in a normal person's house, as in a normal drinker, a social drinker, how long would a bottle of gin last? Think about it. It's at least months, isn't it? Maybe even years. You know, I think back to my grandparents and their drinks cabinet. There were bottles of alcohol in there that had been in there decades. It's just in there just in case anyone on the off chance came around and asked for it, and they'd be so horrified and ashamed that they couldn't provide what the person had asked for. So a normal drinker, bottle of gin, easily you could see it in the drinks cabinet for years, correct? So if they were playing the game fair, if they weren't treating us like idiots and trying to milk us of all our money, then a bottle of non-alcoholic gin should last for months and years as well, shouldn't it? Not a week. Here's the difference, right, between gin and non-alcoholic gin. For a normal social drinker, if you poured them neat gin, they would sip it and go, put something in it. It would be so strong that they would object. They'd maybe even spit it out all over the place, right? You give this to a child and they're going to taste it and go, oh, this water tastes a bit weird. Because that's the overarching flavor that you get from this water that tastes a bit weird. You look at the ingredients on the back, water, number one ingredient. I would say between 90 and 98% of this is water. So it must cost pennies to make, literally pennies to make a bottle of this stuff. Okay, the bottle's very nice. It's embossed. It's heavy, solid. So the bottle's expensive. I get that. And because it's heavy, the transportation costs are going to be high as well. And the marketing must be very high. But the profit margin on this must be vast. This cost me £18, $25 basically. So about the same as a normal bottle of gin, right? Except they don't pay any alcohol duty on this. So this is pure profit. So not only are they taking our money, but they're taking more of our money because they're not having to pay the government the alcohol duty subsidy, right? So, you know, if you go to a bar and you order a gin and tonic, isn't it true they put this much gin and this much tonic? Well, because this is so weak, because it just tastes like water with a bit of flavoring, you almost have to do it the other way around. I found that we were pouring 50-50 measures of this stuff, 50% this, 50% tonic water. That's why we went through this in a week between the two of us. We got 6 drinks out of this. 6 out of a whole bottle, out of $25. Now, that can't be a mistake. Don't tell me they've done that by mistake. Because look, here's a bottle of lemon cordial, right? Lemon squash, concentrate. I'm not telling you to focus, it's concentrated. I've had this for 6 months. In fact, in 6 months, I've used about a third of it, yeah? If I don't use it before July this year, it's going to go off. It's going to go past its best before date, right? If I took a sip out of this bottle, you would see a very extreme response. I'd be like, oh my God, that's strong. Why? Because it's concentrated, right? To get a whole pint of lemon squash, I would need to put this much of this in and then top it up completely with water to get a whole pint of squash, because that is what it's designed to do. This is designed to add flavor to water, right? Same thing. This is designed to add flavor to tonic water. So why isn't it concentrated? Why isn't it designed with strength so it will last a long time? Why is it watery? Why does it taste like water that's gone weird? This cost me 60 cents. 60 cents. And it's lasted me 6 months, and it'll probably last another 6 months. This cost me $25, and it lasted a week. They think we're idiots. And This is just water flavoring. And it was kind of a novelty to have it in the house because it did. It made a nice change. We normally drink water in our house. It was nice to have a grown-up drink, but it's not $25 nice. And it's not just the money, it's the insult. It's the fact that these companies have put a $25 price tag on a bottle of water with some flavoring in it, when they could have played the game fair and provided it with a concentrate. If a bottle of this stuff, this alcohol-free gin, if this lasted 6 months, then I'd say, well done. It tastes good. It's an alcohol-free replacement. As long as it doesn't trigger you to go back to alcohol, then great. $25 for 6 months, fine. The fact that they've just made it effectively water with a bit of a taste to it, it feels like a personal insult to everyone that buys this. And that's why I think these products are doomed to fail, because they are simply not worth it. And you have the added insult that the company is throwing in, that they're treating you and me like an idiot. That's the end of the rant. Now, what I want to know from you in the comments below, please, is do you agree with me? Or have I massively overreacted? And I will give you, I wouldn't object to that statement. I know I get a bit overreacty sometimes. Am I overreacting here? Have I missed the point? Or do you agree with me? Do you see what I'm trying to say? I'd love to hear your comments below. I also want to know, will you buy this stuff? Will you be going out to buy a $25 bottle of alcohol-free gin? And if you would, do you think you'd do it twice? In the comments below. I can't wait to hear your opinions on this. Thank you very much for putting up with me today. Please subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. And don't forget, every Wednesday we get together for a live support session. It's supposed to be 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, but we're in this weird 2-week period when time zones are all a bit messed up because for some reason we all change our clocks on different dates. I don't understand it, but the United States put their clocks forward a week ago. In Europe, we don't do it for another week or so. It's very crazy. So I think it'll be 10 a.m. next week, but generally speaking, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.